celebrate Ibrahim, who's retiring after almost 49 years serving the community here at Englewood. It's an impressive run. When Abe started here in 1974, the first CT scanner had just been installed at the Mayo Clinic. Laparoscopy was a procedure done by internists. And doctors routinely smoked on rounds, so
and drank.
That's so funny.
And drank.
And
So, our company not excluded in that, right? Yeah. So, but while the world changed around you, you boldly embraced technology and techniques, and were an early adopter and pioneer in laparoscopy, especially here at Englewood. And more importantly, we're willing to share that and teach that to others, including your colleagues and fellows and students, and other professionals in our hospital. I was talking to Kathy how the Kodak slides were always going when you were up on the floor teaching everyone as much as you could. So in addition to these compliments, you've changed the lives of tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of patients in our community for the better. And in addition to that, you've served as a trusted mentor and colleague to countless students and residents and fellows and colleagues alike. And I personally appreciate the welcome you gave me when I came here. Even though we were sort of, I was a new guy here, you embraced me and mentored me and helped me through it, and so I truly appreciate it.
I had to approve your techniques.
Yeah, exactly. Here's my PT.
Yeah.
That made me nervous, but and what's I think remarkable is your absolute joy that you find in our profession, and the way you give that to everyone else. Your humility, your sense of humor. So I just, on behalf of all of us, thank you for your dedication and leadership and all that you've done here for us. And I know that just, it's hard to sum up 49 years in a few words, but we really are grateful for everything you've done and appreciate everything you've done for us. And I know there's others here who want to say a few words, so thank you. Oh, and we have a plaque here for you to thank you for all the years of service here at Englewood. Thank you very much. Thanks so much.
Something else in there. Something else.
Oh.
There's something small in there. I think he might appreciate it.
Oh, yes, this is a little funny thing. All I get after 49 years of service is this t-shirt.
It's a real honor to be here today to help send Dr. Ibrahim into retirement. We've worked together for 18 years. We've been through so much. We're friends, we're partners, we're colleagues. I think some of us even refer to it as a bromance. But the point is, we really got things done and we took care of patients in a phenomenal way. And I think back on how this all started. I think back when we first met. I don't know if you remember this. It was in 2005. I think it was on 8D or 7D, taking care of a patient we were both consulted on that had a bowel perforation after a GYN procedure. And there was literally, bowel leakage, contrast leakage on the CT scan, small amount. And I immediately said, well, we need to take this patient back and fix this. And in walks Dr. Ibrahim, who introduces himself, by the way, saying, my name's Dr. Ibrahim, but you can call me by my first name, Ibrahim. And I knew I was in trouble at this point. And he waves his hand over the patient and says, I think we can watch this patient. 8 febrile, no white count, she clinically looks good. Let's just wait and see. We waited a few days, she went home, waited a few weeks, months, years, she did fine. We never needed to go back. And I realized at that point that the force was with Dr. Ibrahim. He really had the force. And as I like to think of Star Wars, as Luke Skywalker thinking of Obi-Wan Kenobi, his mentor and a crazy old man, this is my crazy old man. I was going to learn a lot from him. And so we partnered pretty quickly. So I was a solo practitioner coming from Mount Sinai. I had no assistance here. Dr. Ibrahim generously offered his time and said, anytime you need help, just call me. And it really became very frequent. I can just tell a gentle story, but basically anytime, day, night, weekends, he was available. To the point where, at one point you said to me, Eileen is really thankful that you're keeping me out of the house and keeping me busy. I bet your dog's going to kill you next time the phone.
Every time I mention neckerchief at home, my dog Betty does with a growl.
All right, so I don't want to take too much time, but it's been so long, we have to talk about it. So there's a few cases, a few things just of memory. I'm going to just say one of our first cases was a uterine sarcoma. It's 12.7 kilograms when we took it out. Sarcoma extended from the pelvis to the liver, wrapped around the intestine. Jehovah's Witness, hemoglobin of 7. Went to all these academic institutions in New York. They said it couldn't be done. I talked to Abe. Abe's like, let's try it. We decided to do it. We got her out of the hospital, fully resected. Hemoglobin of 2.5 post-op. She was here for a few weeks, but she did well and we survived. We had another patient I remember from Cleveland Clinic. You may remember this patient, ovarian cancer, had an open and closed surgery, said it couldn't be resected. The patient was very symptomatic, had to get it done, came here for a third opinion maybe. Talked to Abe, he said, I think we can do this. We do it together, fully resected. And the reason this is so memorable, I just have to say, and I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. This patient was actually friends, personal friends with the rock group Rush. And had me meet them a few months later, which was my childhood dream. So I owe that to you, and I really appreciate that. We had a pregnant patient with cervical cancer who had the second robotic pelvic lymphadenectomy in the world done here during pregnancy, second trimester. She had a C-section and a hysterectomy at the same time, which blew your mind, radical hysterectomy. And she's cured of her disease. And so, we have so many of these interesting and really memorable cases I'll never forget. Besides the cases, I'll just say Abe has been very instrumental in developing a robotics program here at Englewood. Without Abe, I wouldn't have been able to get this off the ground the way we have, the success we've had with it. You've helped keep it safe, organized, helped work out the kinks, and I really appreciate that. Just this month, we celebrated our 2000th robotic surgery together here at Englewood, which is the highest volume of a G1 oncology practice anywhere in the region, including New York City, right here. And that's thanks to you. And I really appreciate that. We put a patent together, we've had innovations, we've had other things, but more than anything inside the operating room is outside the operating room. Believe it or not, different generations, but we're very good friends. We can talk about anything, and I would say you've really helped me in my life. You've helped me beyond medicine. You've helped me navigate the politics of the hospital. You kept me out of trouble when I was about to explode. So I hope
what's important.
I hope you can help keep me. Okay. Now the last thing I would say is this. For those of you who know me, I trained at Duke in the era just when Savastin was there for surgery and Hammond was there for OBGYN. And if you're not familiar with Savastin and Hammond, basically the training program there, at that point, there was no residency review committee at that point. So you would start your training and you would end when they told you to end. So it wasn't a 4-year OBGYN residency, it wasn't a 5-year, it was like whenever. And if they decided you needed 6, 7, or 8 years, you would stay there for 6, 7, or 8 years. That's the decade with Dave, we're all familiar with. I was living that. And in honor of that, Abe, I would like to tell you, after 18 years of training in G1 oncology. I'd like to grant you the award of finishing the G1 Oncology Fellowship. The Niagara Chef Training Program. Awarded Dr.
This is wonderful.
Thank you.
Smile.
Okay, so
I think I can say that I am the last person you hired, your most junior partner, right? So I literally would not be here if it wasn't for Dr. Ibrahim. I trained at Sinai, where we heard about this magical place called Englewood Hospital, but if you told me while I was in New York that I would end up living in New Jersey one day, I would laugh in your face. But the small world. And Sean Wainwrighter was one of my junior residents, and he told me while I was job searching that, hey, you should talk to Abe. Okay, I'm like, okay, I don't know what Abe is, but sure, I'll go talk to him. He's like, they're looking for a junior partner. You should go down to New Jersey and meet him. And so we were just talking about this. The day of the presidential election in 2016, I get on a plane from Boston to come meet Abe and interview here at Englewood Hospital. And at that time, Jim you weren't even here yet. So, and I meet Abe, I meet everyone. I was like, okay, it's a nice place, but it's pretty close to New York. I think I could see myself here. And boy, can I see myself here. I don't think I can pull off 49 years like you, but I think I've really found a home here, thanks to Abe. And you've taught me many, many things, but two of the most important things he taught me was, the first thing is, if you just do the right thing for the patient, everything else will fall into place. Right? Don't worry about, getting sued and payment. Just do the right thing for a patient. Your conscience will be in a good place, and that's the most important thing. And the second one, I was making fun of Selena's earlier because she was getting straight up, and I told her she's just retiring, but. Okay, so the thing that you also taught me was it's okay to ask for help. Okay, in fact, in the beginning, I was very proud, right? I did my surgical training. I was administrative chief resident. I did a fellowship. I don't even know. I'm good, right? But Abe was he scrubbed with me all the time in the beginning for an appy, and I was to the point I don't want him here for an appy. He's just gonna make me feel, but. That wasn't the point. The point wasn't to make me feel anything. That was me, right? The point was him being available to help me anytime I needed it, whether I do it or not. So. We're going to miss you. This is good for you. And hopefully I'll join you in 20 years, okay? Yeah.
all I can say is I've been blessed. I really have been. There is no way you could do anything that we have accomplished or we have done without everybody else, without the hospital, administrators, nurses, colleagues, and honestly, I couldn't wish for anything better. Like I said, my career here, I can only describe it as blessed, and that's the only thing I can say. So thank you all very much for helping me for all these years. There is no way we could accomplish anything without you. The nursing staff has been wonderful. I married 2 of them. My son is here. He's a nurse also, so it's been a nice career. And the only other person that I will mention is Tara.
Oh, God.
Tara is I call her the oracle. Tara, anything you want in this this hospital. Yeah, ask Dara, she'll get it done. It's amazing. So, anyway, thank you all very much.
I will say from this end of the world, I am only the secretary, but I have learned, experienced, grown. As much as he appreciates me, I appreciate him because he's shown me things, taught me things. I've worked in the ICU and experienced things that I just have never would have done. And he's leaving 10 months too early, but we'll talk about that. 10 months. You asked.
When I needed a miracle, you just looked deeper